now, aren't they?
Yes.
Good.
Right. Some of them is some of your favorite activists that's been trying to get us to take up arms against pale people, but never letting us know that the people behind it, their skin ain't pale. They come out of the Scottish Rite Lodge, but we got blindsided by the group of Scottish Rite Freemasons that came in under Albert Pike.
So was Albert Pike sent in by the Blackamoors to?
So he was what you call a double agent and a turncoat. So they knew that our people with the feathers and the people with the feathers was going to have amnesia during the 200-year duration of the contract because of the blood oath. We didn't make the blood oath. We didn't volunteer our people for the blood oath. They done it on their own. They murdered Crispus Attucks and wrote the Constitution in his blood because they know no blood of the righteous shall be spilt in vain. The contract had to be fulfilled. It expired July the 4th, 2019. And the ones who was to alert us was what we call Republicans, the Elephant Lodge. The Elephants was the one who was loyal to Big Mama.
Who was Big Mama? For those of them?
In ancient Egypt, we called her Tawaret. Big Mama is source creator, the dark mother, represented as the darkness of space, or what they call the primordial noon. Right? So when they came over here, we didn't know what was going on because we didn't have anything to do with none of the deals being made. And if you want to know more about that, you have to read David Walker's appeal when he was talking to the other chiefs on the land about these people that's in so-called bondage. They look like us, but the other elders was telling him, them people not us. Stay out of it, don't got nothing to do with us. And he couldn't understand why we don't get in it. Over time, the amnesia allowed us to be deceived. Once we was deceived, they told us we was the same people when we came on ships from Africa. When you go back and look at the history book, when the Moors got kicked out of Spain, they went to something called the Maghreb. The Maghreb was northwestern Africa. And that's why in the dogma, they tell us that this is northwestern Africa because they're trying to identify with the land so that they can claim our birthright.
So when you say they say this, meaning what they call a Mexim or America is also Northwest Africa.
But it ain't.
What you say is not. So it has nothing to do with the super devere that happened or with the split and all that stuff. That the
no
shift and none of that.
That's the dogma.
Really?
The dogma is designed to make us believe that we the same people and to follow the feathers to our own destruction and to do away with the feathers for good.
So the fez that most Moors wear is the symbol of the Blackamoors. If that I'm correct, I'm trying to follow this, and not you might get some feedback, pushback because everybody's wearing their fez and
But this is the problem. This is the problem now. Just like they was trying to make us forget who we was, we had to send chiefs in to take the fezzes from them. This is the chess game. So I can't tell the good Moor to take his fez off. He won that position by confronting the enemy directly.
Okay.
So he have to wear the fez, even though I can look in his face and know he's Choctaw, Chickasaw, Cherokee, Blackfoot, Crow. I know what he is, but I still gotta honor him wearing the fez because in order for him to get his rank, he have to dethrone one of the fez wearers. And the only way to dethrone him is by superior knowledge and wisdom. And the only way that's proven is by direct confrontation with him.
And did we? Did we?
Yeah, we won. Our people just don't know we won yet.
Wow. So we won. People don't know it. It almost sounds like Juneteenth. Like you're so-called, you've been emancipated, but you don't know it, so you still. And I know that's probably a fictitious thing too. But
the Emancipation Proclamation that's when they took the private property servitude or slaves or indentures and put them in what they call the public domain and made them wards of the collective state.
So
It's just a
Lincoln
transference.
wasn't doing anything for the so-called melanated slaves. It was an administrative move
To take the slaves out of the hand of private owners and put them into the corporate jurisdiction of what we call the United States Corporation. The United States Corporation is a merger of something called the Northwest Trading Company and the Virginia Company. At the time, the Almarac was a royal company out of Spain that they called Morocco, but it didn't have any land. It wasn't tied to land. It was tied to a charter of a what they call letters patent decree by the Crown of England. Well, in this case, it was the Crown of France.
So the so-called the treaty that is often quoted cited, the peace and friendship.
That was a corporate agreement from the Crown to the CEO of the Almarac.
Okay.
It wasn't no Morocco. It was no country called Morocco.
I realized that. So we're told that there was something over here that deeded or gave them, ceded them some kind of a use to do commerce on the land. But we do know that Morocco, as we know it today, didn't become a whatever country, state, or whatever until in the 1900s, right?
You ever hear Malcolm X say, "We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us"?
Absolutely have.
Do you remember hearing about a ship that came from Europe called the Plymouth?
That I did not.
Okay, look it up. It's a ship. Well, the ship ran into a sandbar in the bay near DC. DC 10 square miles is what you call ground zero of the crash site.
No.
So this is what you call a collateral attack in law. So while they using the Babylonian blood magic to write the Constitution in the blood of Crispus Attucks, they take us to international court. When they take us to international court, they said that our landmass crashed into their ship, and it would take 200 years to dispensate the dispute. And during that time, they needed a charter to perform business over here.
So allegedly, they couldn't get back because their ship was.
We crashed our landmass into their ship.
Their ship didn't crash into our landmass. Our landmass crashed into their ship. It moved
That's
out.
their claim.
I'll be damned.
So when they make that claim and take us to international court, it automatically puts us under what they call admiralty jurisdiction in law. Right? Admiralty jurisdiction is the Uniform Commercial Code law of nations. Nations are corporations. Tribal lands are not a nation, they are a country.
Right.
We don't have cities, we have towns. We don't have counties, we have parishes. We don't have states, we have territories. But they did what they call, the CIA still do it to this day, it's called creating a cutout. The cutout is the lines of demarcation that break the land up into what they call manageable regions. And each manageable region is assigned a corporate charter. We call it the charter of the state. Right? Now, they overlaid their corporate jurisdiction on top of us without never telling us what they was doing. That's why Noble Drew Ali said you have to learn how to run a government. Because if you don't know how to run a government, you'll never know what they done. Right? So now when I'm looking from genetic memory, I'm seeing how the shit's supposed to be, and I'm seeing how it is. So now I got to figure a way out to tell all of my people, this ain't us. This has nothing to do with us.
So even what's going on now, everybody's talking, Jacera and the Sarah. They're talking things are happening. The government, the republic is being restored. These folks have been taken away and put in under arrest for crimes against humanity. Yet we still continue to see faces, and we still continue to get mandates and all kinds of different things that are coming down. So are you saying that it's a show? It's happening because
It's
we don't know
absolutely
better?
100% a shit show. It's not even a good show. But I've been eating my popcorn watching it play out, because what they doing is, the more of us that become aware, the more they losing their narrative in a CIA, KGB, MI5 controlled media conglomerates across the world.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's their last stronghold, is media.
But isn't it true now that I look back at it, brother Rod? What I got was that entertainment, as we've come to know it, and so-called enjoy it, was never for our good, and it was always for our control. Because I could think back to when you see the accounts of the radio with War of the Worlds, and they were testing to see how people would take the news of some kind of space invasion, and folks were killing themselves and all that. But when you look back at the old movie reels and stuff, you'll see that media and military were hand in hand way back there. Most of the films that were being produced had an agenda behind them. I mean, I'm sure it has expanded over the years to some sideline folks who think it's a real deal, but it's at its core, at its root, it seems as though it's always been a form of mind control and indoctrination. Yes.
That's 100%. Okay, so media means what? In the middle, don't it?
Yeah.
Who is it in the middle of? The have and the have-nots. Who owns it? The haves. And who are they trying to push their agenda on? The have-nots.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So while they trying to push their agenda on us, they using their agenda to keep us deluded into believing the narrative that they painted, that we came on slave ships.
Mm-hmm. Then
Right.
you got this whole what is it? What is the agenda? The Pan African agenda. I remember talking to someone from Africa a few years ago who actually said that that you all came from here wasn't true. But I said, you know what? I said, but it's good for the economy, right? And he said, absolutely. So you got so many people that have been going, to Ghana and going to, Nigeria and different places like that. And they said, oh, they welcomed us. They're washing clothes and hanging them up and said, we've been washing your clothes for you, waiting for you to come back. I said, my goodness, it's a marketing campaign to get us to fall for or believe that that's where we came from.
That's why they had the Liberian movement, the Back to Africa movement.
Right. So we didn't come from there to here, but they took some of us or sent some of us from here to there.
Right. And where did they bring them from over here from? What part of the land did those people in Liberia come from over here?
I don't know.
The Lone Star State.
Texas.
That's why they only have one star on Liberia.
Ah.
So the ones that fell for the lie, like a lot of us over here believe they sold out. They didn't sell out. They actually believe that narrative that the Dirty Moors gave them, that they came on slave ships and that they was actually going back home. But they didn't find out until they was well settled over there that they wasn't from over there. Around the globe, we're out of context weather anomalies. Like tornadoes in the winter, it's not coming, right? The areas where it's supposed to be hot is freezing. Hailstorms, but y'all think it's coming. It's not coming. This time of year is giving you what we would call spring and fall time weather. And people think that it's normal to see it playing out the way that it's playing out. This shit is not normal, right? They rain fish in Texas. There's blizzards in the Northeast and in the northwest, it's a heat wave coming in, rolling in out the southwest. You got tropical storms coming out the southeast, converging, all of that shit over here. And people got the audacity to say that nothing's happening. Well, at this particular point, I'm sitting back watching and I'm saying to myself, this the calm before the storm. I don't know what's going to be the tipping point, but this is the calm before the storm because only thing we ain't took control of is media, right? So mainstream media is the last thing out of enemies to go. So whoever it is working for our side should probably be trying to shut that shit down, right? Because once they shut down the fake media, there's nobody to keep up the charade. That's snatching the curtain off their ass, right? So, like, I can't tell a motherfucker when shit gonna happen. I done said that a million times. I can read it in real time as it's happening, and I can give a reasonable assumption of what this add up to in a mathematical sense. That's not prophecy. That's not giving prophecy. That don't mean I gotta always be right. And that's where motherfuckers make their mistake. They think that if any motherfucker say something, he gotta automatically be right. I can be wrong too. I don't gotta always be right. But the fact that whether I'm wrong or whether I'm right, I stand on my motherfucking convictions. My mama said, let your yes be yes and let your no's be no. So if a motherfucker don't understand what that means, then that's their problem, not mine. Right? So, I've been trying to figure out, like, what else to tell these people. What else can I tell them to do? Once I done told y'all who the kings of the land was, and y'all supposed to be pushing that agenda, but nobody's really, only certain key people pushing the agenda. Everybody else sitting on the fence, twiddling their legs, you know, flipping their thumbs. I've been laying low, watching, and I know something ain't right. I just don't know what it is. Something don't fit in the equation, right? The math is incongruent right now. So the only thing to do to make it more congruent and balance that shit out is to flip a bigger turnaround on the media, because they the ones keeping the charade going. They the ones broadcasting this bullshit from fake presidential Oval Office studios. Castle Rock, they got one on the military base. I was going over that with Rashida earlier. These motherfuckers keeping up this elaborate front. The only thing we ain't did was snatch the motherfucking curtains off the media. Get rid of them motherfuckers, take over their shit. Confiscate their shit for being an enemy to the people by feeding them the propaganda that lead them to participate in their own destruction. But y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me. Because it's the media that's playing this song and dance, right? The artificial political elites. Where these motherfuckers really at, right? So they telling us this shit, but something is amiss. I can't say exactly what it is right now, but this shit's supposed to been well on the road to recovery by now. And somebody getting overzealous in their position and taking shit a little bit out of context, a little bit too far, right? So you got to know where to draw the line at, where you supposed to stop. Where's the finish line? Motherfucker can't keep moving the finish line because it's going to make motherfuckers say, wait a minute, why the finish line keep moving? Every time we finish, then the finish line move again. That shit ain't fair. But they've been cheating the whole time, so why would they be any of a less of a cheat now? Right? They've been cheating the whole time. Right? It's just that now you can't pull the same shit on our eyes, so now you have to keep as many of us, each one teach one, from teaching another. Because the more of us to get the information out, the more we understand what we up against, the less jurisdictional authority these motherfuckers have to take us over. Right? So, if I don't speak to y'all one at a time, no, I appreciate y'all being here. I would like it better if y'all would bring more people. But hey, I ain't tripping because the shit gonna happen whether it's a little or a lot. I prefer to take a lot of us with us. I could have saved more people had they know they need saving. Right? Had they know they were tricked, I could have helped them out of the deception, out of the trickery. But because they were so thoroughly tricked, they fought against everything that I say to break them free from the trickery. Right? I got Clubhouse. I just haven't set up a room. Right? I don't really be... The thing is this. I could talk to y'all that blue in the face. It's not going to change nothing. It's not going to help nothing. The only thing going to change is if the people that I'm talking to is inspired to action from the words I speak. You know, if I get you to teach somebody the shit that I'm teaching you, showing you where to look for the information. Here's the answers. You look right here. This is the answer to the problem. Right? Some people are starting to understand what the problem is and see who the real enemy is. Right? So I be putting them, I post that shit. I don't give a fuck. If I see somebody saying the same thing, I don't have to know them motherfuckers. They telling you the exact same thing I'm telling you. So if they telling it to you, I'm telling it to you, and we don't know each other, then it might be some validity to that shit. Right? So first and foremost, the black term for the people is a chess term for the people. All of the people considered as black as the pawns on the defensive side of the chessboard, and all the people considered white is the pawns on the offensive side of the chessboard. On the defensive side of the chessboard, you don't even have to know that you're under attack. The defensive side of the chessboard consists of the indigenous people of the land. The deception being used to prevent them from ever participating in the chess game is to make them believe that they don't even have positions on the chessboard. When the real reality of it is they own the chessboard. Right? Not only do they own the chessboard, they invented the game. Once you realize you invented the game, you got to realize that the inventor of the game can't be beat using that game. Right? So he can come in late. He can come in an off position. He can come in at a bishop's angle or at a knight's L. Or he can slide across on the rook. Or he can push in any direction off a queen. But whatever it boils down to, when it comes to the grand hurrah, checkmate, motherfucker, the gig is up. You have to know when you playing against them, and you got to know what they're using as a strategy to use to keep you in a subservient condition. Now, the chains are paper chains. The paper chains are the adhesion contracts. So look up adhesion contracts, right? Every time you do paperwork with the corporation, you are agreeing to follow the rules of the corporation. The corporation is not the government. The government is the people that the people pick from among themselves to be their leaders. Not the artificial electoral college puppy dog show that they tell y'all is the president, who is actually the elected CEO of the corporation by stakeholders. If you don't know what the electoral college is, you won't never know how they was able to determine who was going to be the president from the word go. Because the electorate can override the popular vote. But if they want you to think whatever they want you to think, right,
then they can tell you that the popular vote is what the electors was going to do anyway. You have no way of verifying that, right? There's no agency that verifies ballots specifically should be done on its own in a society where your votes count, right? So automatically, if you was having real presidential elections, it would be an independent corporation, an independent body that would be tasked with inspecting the validity of all of the motherfucking ballots if it wasn't fixed. But it's fixed. So since it's fixed, they let the electors of the electoral college, who they know they're gonna vote for ahead of time, even before the election. Because part of being enrolled as an electorate in the electoral college is they have to know who you voting for. So that's how they know already who gonna win. Okay, so being separate from the corporation is taking away the artificial, what they call the de facto jurisdiction, which is actually an assumed jurisdiction acting under the color of law. Violation of the United States Code 1983. So, when they acting under the color of state law, they passing themselves off with the appropriate jurisdictional appearance, but without the substance. So when you validate the illegitimate system, you telling them that you are imbecile in law, and the imbecile in law is considered dead, aka black, right? So you black in law, which means you the ones that they are attacking anyway. How do you know this? We've been at war for 500 years, right? In the 500-year war, they have what they call warrants. A war rant is a declaration of war that is perpetual. Every time one of us color outside the lines they draw for us, they issue a warrant in our name. But they don't issue it in the name of what we call the de jure. They are issued in the name of the de facto corporate entity they create that represents you, called a straw man. The straw man is what you call a legal fiction. That means it's created in law, but it's not real in substance. It is a de facto. The corporation known as the United States is a de facto. The people of the land in a sovereign capacity are the de jure. When you realize that you did de jure, then you got to know, well, how is they playing this game that keeps us from winning? They use the paper trap to get you to consent to their superior jurisdiction. The paper trap determines your lack of competency to handle your own affairs because you keep re-enlisting in adhesion contract after adhesion contract with a defunct corporation. It's closed now. So now you beating the dead horse trying to get it to come back to life, looking for some shit they call normal. We ain't going back to that shit. Better get
Sister Tracy. See what she got on her man. Hey Tracy, can you hear me? Can you hear me? That must have been an accident. Okay, so yeah. So now when you don't do the paperwork, they can't validate the substance of their claim of you being an imbecile in law because only an imbecile would surrender his inalienable rights for his civil liberties. Your inalienable rights override all of the civil liberties. The civil liberties are those uh, um, allowances that the corporation, the civic, body, the corporation, acting under the pretense of government, allow you to, as a member of a corporation. Your membership is determined by you recontracting with them again and again and again. And the more you recontract with them, filing nationality cards, driver's license, birth certificates, social security cards, you saying that they de facto jurisdiction is more superior than your de jure jurisdiction when that's not possible, even according to their own law admission, right? Because they tell you in their law that sovereigns empower corporations to perform the functions of government. If the sovereign at any time realized that the corporation is ran amok, then the sovereign can withdraw his consent for the corporation to do business from his sovereign capacity as a 5/5 realized being and not a 3/5 Dred Scott compromised imbecile in law, right? So that's the name of the game, and that's how it works. Once you know how it works, you can mount a defense against it. But if you don't know how you work, you can't defend against it. What we would be doing if everybody knew what was going on, we would all be walking off our jobs and shut the economy down, right? But it's going to shut down anyway. These banks have been bleeding us dry for too long. So that's a wrap for them. They undermine Big Mama Bank, undermine Big Mama Bank, right? They couldn't keep it, but they could live off of it as long as they was holding it in trust for the rightful trustees to assert their superior jurisdiction in the de jure capacity as a sovereign being, right? And demand that the three kings be seen walking on the land as free men, right? So that we can restore the balance back and raise the matriarchy, right? So you need all four of them, the three kings as the governors of the land, right? The one so declared to redeem them or to show the people where the real leaders on the land at, and to tell the people who are who we pick versus the corporate fiction in a artificial dog and pony show called elections. All elections are fixed. Rodrizzo's '06. Let's see what he talking about. Come on in, my man. Myself.
Yeah, they hired that particular thing you talking about.
Type in SAS before FBI.
Yes. Yes.
Go to where it say all that.
All right, let's get them. Let's get them. Let's see. What is the SAS? It's a supervision specialist agent. It's a special job within the FBI investigation. It gives them with the responsibility of leading teams of special agents into investigation. Yeah, special operations unit.
That's what they was called back then. Some kind of special operations force. But the initials was SAS.
Yeah, they probably scrubbed the internet on that shit, like the secret.
No, it ain't no secret. If you look up go to Google the history of FBI, because that's what J. Edgar Hoover was before he formed the FBI.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So 13 Shriners. I go back to the 13 Shriners. This is Special Air Service has its origin in the North African desert. It was formed as 62 Command in July 1941 to undertake small-scale raids behind.
No, that's something else. That's something else.
All right. The Special Air Service. All right. Hold up. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Let me type this in. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Give me something good. Oh, yeah. They hide that particular topic, boy. You say you pulled it up before?
Yeah, it's under the history of the FBI.
Brief history of the FBI. Let's get their ass right here. All right.
See, we'll go back to 1908. In 1908, it wasn't called the Federal Bureau of Investigations yet.
Yeah. You know what? I got a document on this somewhere about what you're talking about. Now that I think about it.
Okay, the reason why I bring them up is because they tell us it means one thing, but it means something else. I wanted you to see the symbol for it before I take you to Switzerland.
Okay, all right. I gotta find like another way to type it in then probably. All right.
They was really the Swiss Army Services enforcement arm of the international banks. But they came over here, they changed the meaning of the SAS. And I don't have my other computer. I'll look that shit up real quick and show you what I'm talking about.
Swiss Army Services.
Go to images and see what they flag or they logo look like.
All right. These saying suckers they trained to do that martial law joint, ain't it? They got the Red Cross. That's the same shit. That's the same flag with the damn Knights of Templar.
Right. Now you starting to see it. So pull up the Templar flag because the Templars split. Remember there was a war within the Templars at the Catholic Church.
Uh-huh.
Right? And it became contentious and they split into two factions.
Uh-huh.
See the Templar cross? Okay, now, remember when you were saying that you brought the French up?
Yeah.
The last war with the Swiss is where all of them went to France.
Yeah.
I mean, went from France to Switzerland.
Yeah, 86, somewhere around that, maybe. Yeah.
Right. Okay, now when they get over there, Switzerland becomes declared what you call a neutral country with no public relations or ties to any other nation.
Just like DC and the Vatican.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Switzerland don't know Italy can go to war because the Vatican is in Rome and Rome is in Italy.
Okay. Okay.
Italy can go to war, but Rome can go to war by themselves without Italy.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Now, London, the military of England, they go to war by the order of Parliament.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to go to war unless they have America's support because they're not really the military strength. They are the banking power. Yeah. They operate from here.
Yeah.
Now pull up World Bank.
All right, I got you. World Bank, baby. We got their ass. Somebody in the crowd say, "Get Rod Hayes, get them niggas, man."
Now you see where the symbol for the World Bank? It's the globe, or it's a laid out map of the world, right?
Yeah.
All right. All of your tax dollars go there. They don't have nothing to do with paying for your roads. It's another one called IMF. Pull that one up too.
International Mountain Funds.
Yep.
Damn.
These are the people who's collecting the taxes. Guess where their primary offices are?
France.
No, Switzerland.
Switzerland. Ah.
Right? Now, the Moorish stronghold is the Isle of Man. Pull that up.
The Isle of Man.
ISLE of Man. Click that. That's the flag.
That's some creepy. He just fucking twist. It looked like a damn swastika though.
Almost. Something missing.
Yeah, it's missing. Yeah.
Right. One of the angles is missing.
Yeah.
Where's it at? Noble Drew Ali got it. It's on the Circle 7.
Ah.
Okay, now go to the all and pull up the description for the Isle of Man.
Hey, go to all. Okay, I got you. We got that now.
If you can make it bigger, I can read it.
All right, hold on. Let me do this.
Oh, click on over there to the right.
Right here.
Yeah, that's just a quick description instead of reading the whole history.
It says the Isle of Man is a self-governed British Crown dependency in the Irish Sea between England and Ireland. It's known for its rugged coastlines, medieval castles and ruins, landscape fishing to the mountains center. The capital, Douglas, the Museum, trace the island's Celtics and Vikings heritage. The Isles of Man (TT) is the major annual cross-country motorcycle and race around the island.
Okay, now behind where you got it, type the Isle of Man, type and Moors. AND Moors. No, stay on all. We want the description. We want them to tell us what's the connection.
All right. It's talking about this dude named Arthur Williams Moore. That's a heavy ass name right there with all of them. Mm-hmm. Williams and Moore. That's a oh, they really ain't giving me nothing too much nothing on it. With the Moors. Let me do this because they like to play these games and put the ish on it. Let's see, put the ish. It says there were black Muslims in Northwest Africa. No, that ain't what we're looking for. We're looking for the Isle of Man. Oh, let me type it in like this. Rhode Island.
That's the Mirror Island. Rhode Island was settled by the English.
So it's the Mirror Island to the other
Isle of Man. Yeah.
Oh shit. So-called Black Moors, a Black Moor. It was a black servant originally enslaved in North Africa who worked. These motherfuckers be lying like a mother. They be lying like a mother. That's not it. Yeah, hey, I don't see that on this.
Look, I'll send you something for the next show. We'll clean it up over there. So I'll be able to show you exactly what I'm talking about. But the Isle of Man was a stronghold for the Moors after the Spanish Inquisition.
Oh yeah, I gotta write this down, man.
Right. Yeah. So they settled the Isle of Man as an independent domain within the British Empire.
Yeah.
Right. And so now they operating from there, and they not using the 6-point star. They using 3 legs.
This is crazy.
Right. Now, what's the significance of the legs? Pull up the George Washington. You still got that George Washington challenge I showed you?
I got it on my phone, but I don't got it on the well, I don't even got the phone because I got a new phone. Yeah.
Okay, because the reason why I asked, because in there, one of the things was mentioned was the sandals.
Yeah,
Moors, look, the Moors that came from Europe didn't wear sandals. The Dutch didn't wear sandals. They wore wooden shoes, remember? And they wore the buckle in the front.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The English wore the boots with the buckle across the front. Right? They kind of was made on the same style as the shoe. So they didn't come over here wearing sandals, but we was wearing moccasins.
Yeah, right.
Right? And that's the sandals they talking about.
Ah, go ahead.
Right? So if you pull up any picture from early colonial America, pull up colonial American footwear. So when you pull up the footwear, you know that they didn't even come over here wearing sandals. They didn't wear sandals or moccasins. They came over wearing boots, shoes. Them little ugly motherfuckers right there. Them, yeah.
Leprechauns, the leprechaun joints.
Right.
It was rocking the leprechaun joints. The wooden shoes.
All these is the different size shoes that came from Europe over here. The moccasins was what we wore. You know the difference in the footwear.
Yes, hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Jude, because that ties in with me looking at the phenotypes and all that. So I'm gonna look at the footwear. That's a good Jude.
Right. Also, remember the red shoes is what we call from dancing on the ruby red floor set. That's dancing in the blood. Remember Michael Jackson, Blood on the Dance Floor? That's what he's talking about. The blood on the dance floor is for sacrificing them to the music. This was what we wore. What you looking at now? This is them the sandals.
Yeah. I got a couple pair of these. I got about like 5 or 6 pair of these shoes. This actually what I like wearing. My daddy used to wear. Everybody, my whole family used to rock these. So hey, I got like 5 or 6 pair of these.
Right. Yeah. Now, if you go to English shoes of the 1500s, they're not gonna have nothing like this. So I gotta be making so many connections to who I'm talking about, to what I'm talking about, that y'all know exactly what I'm saying. See that pointy ass shoe right there?
Yeah. Oh shit! Look at it. They want which shoes?
Yeah, that's not a witch shoe.
Go ahead.
That's from over there in Europe. That's the precursor to the modern day Stacey Adams.
Yeah, the ones when the niggas got the yeah, I know what you're about. Go ahead.
Right, that was a customary footwear. You remember the genie had the toes curled up on their shoes?
Yeah.
That was from wearing these into the toes.